Does anyone have a question?
Stuart, can you talk about the different levels or connections a student has with their teacher?
Well, there's really one truly important level. Teacher has to provide Shakti. A teacher has to provide energy. A teacher has to provide a way and means of developing a chakra system that gives the student a connection with higher energy in the universe. And a student has to need this. The student is not there to judge a teacher. I remember Rudy once pronouncing to the class that he wasn't running for Miss America. If you want to find something wrong with somebody, it's not hard to find something wrong with somebody. A student has to open and has to receive the Shakti and the energy and understand you are there not to judge, you're there to truly open and receive what is necessary for a spiritual life. And if the teacher can provide you with that, you can hate the teacher's guts. It really doesn't matter. That teacher, you understand, is a channel for Shakti energy that's giving you connection with spirit. All manners of teaching. Some teachers are very strict, some are, very easy, some are, have a lot of rules and dogma and regulations, and none of it matters. The only thing that matters is the teacher giving you Shakti, energy. Are you growing because you sit in the presence of that teacher? You don't have to like him. I mean, Rudy spent 13 years with a teacher he did not like. And I mentioned this many, many times. I asked him why, and he said, he's the only teacher I ever met who can break me down. I need the energy, his, the Shakti that flows through him. I don't have to like him. I don't have to dislike him. What's important in my life is getting the energy that helps connect me with God. I think that kind of relationship between a student and a teacher is very, very sacred because they're both there for only one reason: to have a spiritual life. And all the prejudices and what you like and don't like, it all gets thrown by the wayside. None of it matters. Before I met Rudy, I had 1,000 prejudices about what a guru is supposed to be. And then I met Rudy, and every one of those prejudices was just broken down. I had no choice but to surrender them and let go of them and find a deeper purpose for why I was connected to Rudy and what he was teaching me. But if you go and try to sit with a teacher and you're analyzing and judging, and I mean, guaranteed at least 4 or 5 more lifetimes, because that's not how it works. It works through surrender, it works through letting go. Sometimes the most difficult students I have make the greatest students. People I don't want to hang out with, I don't like particularly much. I doesn't matter. First of all, it all changes. It all changes. And secondly, the important thing is that person helping me to grow? That's the only question you have to ask. And if that person does that, and the two people and their connection are both getting closer to enlightenment, you don't have to like or dislike each other. You're just grateful you found somebody who can nurture the deepest part of your inner being. And you forgive them everything because they're providing a pathway to God. Now, look, I'm not a hard person to be around. And I used to be. I was really hard years ago. I was difficult. I was very intense. Very demanding. Life has gotten a lot less severe for me, and I enjoy it more. And it's much better to do things in a kind way, in a gentle way than the way I used to do them years ago. I grew up, I grew up. I finally realized I don't have to bark at people. I don't have to yell at them. I don't have to get on their case. Yeah, sometimes I do when people really do stupid stuff. But mostly it's, unconditional love. Especially if their presence is making me grow. And the fact is that any human being's presence can make you grow if you don't sit around and judge them. Any human being, from the hardest to the easiest people. I mean, you could become a saint hanging around a guy like Donald Trump if you use the energy properly. I mean it. He must be such a difficult person to be around. That if you can learn to unconditionally love, God knows what he can do for your inner life. Who knows? I mean, I used to do something intentionally. When I ran a gallery in New York, it was really a very interesting place because everything went on there, from healing people of cancer to meditation sessions with 10 students sitting in there to doing business with clients. And, I mean, it was really a kind of a zoo, the place. It was crazy. And one of the things I always did, I always made sure I had people around me. They were students of mine, but they were very difficult people for me. Not all of them, but one or two people like that were very difficult for me to hang around with, to be around. And I made sure that these people are always welcome, not only in my classes in the evenings, but in my gallery. They were welcome. Come in with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, sit down, we would do meditation. And I did it intentionally because I understood that if I can learn to like and love these people unconditionally, it is a major step in my growth as a human being and a major step in my growth closer to a state of spiritual enlightenment. So I used to have people around me like that, very difficult people. And, and they served me in such a profound way. Many of them just changed me as a person. I learned how to get more human. And it also taught me another thing, not to be intimidated by difficult people. So the student-teacher relationship is kind of a miracle. It's not I mean, you can go far and wide and all over the world. You're not going to find that. It's very hard to find that kind of a relationship. But it's sacred and it's karma and they come together. It's like a marriage performed on a transcendental level. They come together and their meeting and their being together is an opportunity for both of them to grow closer to God. I mean, my meeting with Rudy, on superficially, It looked like a complete accident. It wasn't. It wasn't an accident. It was meant to be. It was karma. And I was ready. I had walked past his gallery at least 1,000 times while I was living, just north of Greenwich Village. And I would go down to Greenwich Village and I would endlessly walk. I'd look in the window, I'd see all the Buddhas and the this, and I really liked that stuff. I never went in. And one day I walked in. It was karma. My whole life changed. But it changed because I recognized that I had met somebody who can truly do something to help me grow as a human being and also help me learn how to have a spiritual life. And I did the work. So, that relationship has many dimensions, but the most important dimension is it opening channels inside that are connecting one to God? Are you developing a strong chakra system because of that relationship? Is it nurturing you spiritually? It's the only thing that matters. I'm not asking anybody here to like me. I'm not running a popularity contest here. The only thing I ask is you take in the Shakti and the energy and you grow spiritually. You don't have to like me. Grow spiritually, and you'll do the greatest service for me that you can possibly do, and for yourself. I mean, you can ask Bob Sink what I was like in Denton, Texas. I was not an easy person, right, Bob? It's true. I was not an easy person. I'm much easier today. A different aspect of me you're seeing today. Does anyone else have a question? I mean, Rudy told me this 100 times. Don't like me, don't love me. I repeated this ad infinitum in these classes. Just learn what I have to teach. That is the greatest service you can do for me. Learn what I have to teach and build your connection with higher energy in the universe. And he beat that into me. And I have the same feeling. Learn what I have to teach. I'm also not running for Miss America. I don't have to be liked. Just learn what this amazing exercise, this amazing Shakti and energy. Look how strong the energy is here. It's a miracle. Where do you go and find energy like this that can truly nurture you in the deepest part of your inner being? That's the only thing that matters. Does anyone else have a question? I would like to and enjoy life. Laugh and feel a tickle right at the center of your heart. And let it open and be grateful and offer that gratitude up to God, the sacred place that we live. Does anyone else have a question? Okay, if there are no more questions, there'll be meditation on Sunday. Great question, John. Great question. Really, the answer had to come from a very deep place. Thank you. Okay, if there are no more questions, and there'll be meditation on Sunday. Thank you all. God bless you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on Sunday. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Big problem is
Thank you, Stuart.
I can't hug everybody. That's a big problem.
Thank you.
Last weekend, I was hugging everybody. It was fantastic. Okay, I'll see you all on Sunday.